Well, knock knock, welcome.
Hello.
Sally and John, please
Yes.
come in. Oh, look, I can see you obviously holding hands, which is always good to see. If you come, please take a seat. Thanks for agreeing to meet me in my office here.
It's okay.
How did you find the place? Was it okay?
Yes, fine. Thanks.
Didn't get lost at all?
No.
It's a little bit tricky sometimes.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, so you have GPS tonight.
Pretty easy living in a cul-de-sac, it's a bit easier.
Yeah. Cul-de-sacs are very child-friendly as well.
Yes.
I remember the days playing cricket in my cul-de-sac growing up. Would you like coffee, tea, water?
I'm
You guys
right,
fine?
I'm right. Are you?
So,
Yeah.
so what we'll do today. So firstly I'm going to explain what this meeting's all about. So take about half an hour. And I'm just going to explain to you what we're going to do during the meeting first, and then just go through all the legal paperwork and just a bit about the ceremony. But it's relaxing. Like the wedding itself, it's a stressful time. But this is just a formality, but we won't make it as that stressful. A bit of fun today, right?
Okay.
So firstly, we'll just, as I said, explain the legal components, because there are legal components. I explained to you over the phone my fees and what I include. We'll go through that. Once we get that out of the way, we'll go through and fill out the legal paperwork. And then we'll go on and explain the actual ceremony and how you want to do it. Because again, as I said, the beauty about having a civil celebrant is you get to do it as you choose. Obviously, there's legal components that I have to say, which I'll explain. But all in all, the wedding is exactly how you picture it. So it's really good. So what we'll do, we'll get going, because obviously I know that you said you had a meeting after this as well.
That's right.
With the venue, I believe, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So the venue's not far from here.
No, not far. About 20 minutes.
Oh, 20 minutes. That's good. But so obviously I'll be well on time, and I just with part of the booking I'm always early anyway, so I'll make sure of that. So what I'll do now is explain the ceremony, because I like to start out with the exciting stuff. The paperwork, the boring stuff can wait a little bit later. So I'll explain the ceremony. So I have a bit of a format. Again, it can be changed as you suit. So I know you have something planned and you have things you want to do. I'll give you my opinion, and my my expertise and my opinions on what I think works well, because it's worked well in the past. So we could do an introduction. This is the ceremony now itself. So this is how I would generally do it. Again, but it's up to you. So it's an introduction to welcoming the groups there. I try to put them at ease, waiting for you to attend. And John, you'll be probably a bit nervous up there, waiting for the beautiful bride to walk on down the aisle. So we'll do the introduction and all that stuff. So we'll do a reading if you want. Generally do a reading or a poem. I like poems. Present the bride and groom, so like the old-fashioned way. If you've got your father or his father, depending, we'll explain that. We'll discuss that a bit later. But the giving away, and then we have the thank you to the. I like the little touch I like to add is thank you to the parents or particularly the mother of the bride or groom, because the mothers get a little bit left out at times. So I find the father gets to give away. Or whatever, but anyone special in your life, we can make a special thank you. And then we do
the people of the deceased.
People, we can mention them, absolutely. How would you like to include them?
Just say that they've got a year any longer.
Yeah.
We're so here.
Yeah, perfect. Well, that's exactly something we can definitely
because obviously we're a bit older than a lot of people.
Yeah, which I didn't want to, I didn't want to mention right away, but we will, we'll discuss kind of how you want it, but this is just a loose guide, and whatever I write up and whatever we decide, you're going to get a look at it before anyway. So we'll make sure weeks before the wedding you get the script. If you're happy with it, we go ahead. If you want to change anything, we can change. I can change it as many times as you like. So then the first official thing I have to do, so I have to talk about the legal components. The first official thing I have to do is I have to do a celebrant authority. So it's called the monitum, which means basically declares to the people out there that are witness to the wedding, essentially, that I am a legal authorised celebrant under the Marriage Act. So I'll have to do that. That's a legal component. I generally fit that in the start, and then we can go into any other things like if you've got children yourself, because you said you're a bit older. If you've got children yourself, you can do a commitment to the children. You can.
I don't know whether I want to do a commitment to the children because they're all adults.
Yeah, that's fine.
We have grandchildren as
Oh,
well.
well, grandchildren, you're including them. That's lovely. Then we can do any other. You can do a pledge. You can do an asking, which can lead into the vows. So the vows is the other part that you have to do. So you have to have some sort of. This is another legal component. You have to say certain words. You can't just say I do. I will say I can read your vows to you, but you have to say some sort of words that you are, you want to get married and you're happy to get married and all this kind of stuff. And then, so what I recommend there is if you write your own vows. I don't know, John, if you're a romantic at heart, but
I'm very romantic.
you are. Would you want to write your own vows?
Oh yeah, I've already got an idea.
You've already got ideas.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Full of ideas.
So I do love romantic men. It's not often.
So
not
do
often.
I, but I don't know whether that's going to happen with this
Well,
one. But
if you
anyway,
need any
we'll
help
see.
writing your vows, I'm happy to write some vows for you. But again,
Oh,
you have to
that's
say a minimum amount of words to make it legal. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So just a minimum amount of words, not in the vows itself, but just more in the lead up. In the vow, you don't have to,
I never knew that.
Yeah. It's a part of this. There's three general legal components to make it official.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, me being an official celebrant, if the person's not official, then obviously
Yeah.
it's not legal anyway. But I have to mention that to let people know that it is going to be married. It's going to be an official wedding, and then the vows you have to say a minimum amount of words, which I've got them written down, which I can explain to you later. But we'll go through that in a second, or we can discuss that later. So then we'll do a bit of the ring ceremony. So you have rings chosen,
Yeah.
And then we'll do a bit of a blessing, another reading, then the declaration of marriage. You then choose to kiss. Are you guys sloppy? Over the top.
No.
Slopper.
Oh, well, yeah, we are in the corona
Yeah.
pandemic at the moment, so it makes it hard. And I know it's hard to keep that 1.5 metre distance from yourselves, but
I think we were right.
I know you're madly in love, so it's hard to keep yourselves away from one another.
But we're
I
not
do
sloppy.
understand that, but you're not over the top, like soap
No.
opera
No.
kind of style. Okay, which is good, and that's quite tasteful too. So we'll have a kiss, and then we'll sign the register, which is the other formal part of the marriage. So after that, happy baby music in the background. And again, it's something I could choose for you. You can choose your own music, which a lot of couples do. I'm happy to play that while we're signing the register with the two witnesses who have to be over 18.
We've got a PA system.
We do have a PA system, yeah, which we'll go through towards the end about some a booking, bit of a questionnaire I have as well. So that's just the outline. Again, we'll work on that. Again, if you have anything in particular you like, poems, if you're a little bit religious, I'm happy to put in verses from Bibles if you want. You want to get someone to come up, that can all happen. So that's just an outline. I like to talk about that stuff too because to get your creative minds thinking, and because I don't know, in my experience, most brides have an idea of their ideal wedding and what they want, and it could be, what do you picture it? So I was, in my wedding, there's a bit of I like to plan it quite well, and I had ideas and songs, which song we walked down the aisle to, and I had a big part. So
What song do you want to walk down the aisle to?
Do you like the groom?
What song do you want me to walk down the aisle to? What song would you like me to walk down the aisle to? Have you thought about it?
The Rod Stewart sort of song I was thinking.
Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it? So yeah, I do like the groom taking a big part. So
Yes.
if you want, again, it's up to them. Not everyone's overly romantic or overly want to get involved. As I said, I can write the whole thing for yourself, and if you like that, that's the way it's going to be as well. But we'll move on. We'll explain the fees now.
Yeah.
So as I explained to you over the phone when I took the booking, so the wedding's going to be on the 19th of September. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So the 19th of September. So this is just a statement of fees. Now I'll explain them quickly to you. And if you've got any questions, then that's great. And you said it's going to be at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's daylight savings, so that shouldn't be a problem. It's going to be nice and light. So, and the location is you said it's going to
Actually,
be.
it's not daylight savings in September.
It's not, is it?
No, will that be alright? 4 o'clock be okay then?
Well, have you looked in the time yet, or are you still speaking?
No,
I'd probably
just
recommend
realised
3.
that.
I recommend 3.
Yeah, because
I
daylight
forgot
savings
it starts
doesn't
in
start till
October.
October.
It does start in October.
Yeah.
So I recommend 3. So if you haven't got
Okay.
a date and you haven't locked in the time yet, I would
Yeah.
recommend 3. That gives you plenty of time for photos afterwards.
Right, because we're going there now after, so we can sort of say.
Yeah, say 3. I would definitely recommend
Alright,
3. So
yeah.
that's in Mount Anning Botanical Gardens there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's a lovely place. Outside there, is it going to be? Do you have a backup, I think, in case of wet weather?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So you've got big marquees or something, is that the venue organises that?
Yeah, the venue. We've actually, they did tell us that on the phone, that we have to go through it when we go and see them today.
Alright.
So I'm sure they'll tell us once we're there.
Perfect. Well, I'm sure they will, but just get that. If you've got any
I
questions...
will check with that. It was good that you reminded us about that.
They're pretty good, that venue. I've worked there before, and they're pretty good. So they'll explain a lot to you anyway.
Okay.
So basically, after this initial meeting, there's just a booking fee of $100.
Right.
So as I said over the phone, my title fee is $450. So just due today is $100. That locks you in. That makes sure guaranteed. Obviously, I'm not going to take any other bookings that day. Administration and documentation of all marriage documents. Sorry, administration documentation of all marriage documents.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a wordy thing, but basically that's includes like the notice of intention to marry. So that form which we'll go through just after this, basically it's a month.
I was going to say, do you still have to wait a month?
Have to wait a month. Yep. So that includes I'll lodge them. And that generally happens after you get married, and obviously the official marriage certificate as well. So that's $50.
Sorry, I just checked. You said it takes a month, but you said you lodge that after.
Yeah. So you have to sign with the celebrant that you've acknowledged that you have to wait a month to
after your intention
of marriage. You sign that with the celebrant.
Okay, so if we're signing you today, which we've got plenty of time for September, but if we were signing you today, we've got a month from today because we're signing up with you today. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So you can officially get married on. So today is the 21st of March. Is it?
Yeah, something like that.
Cool. 21st of March.
It's the 22nd actually.
Time goes through. Oh, it's the 22nd. That's right. It is. I did have a meeting yesterday, 21st. So 22nd. That's it's the 22nd. So from the 22nd of next month, I would say.
So this is our.
It's not a week.
Today is our intention of marriage.
So it's one calendar month as well. Okay, so it's 22nd
of
next month. So you'll have plenty of time with that. If you do want to shorten it, something happens, you want to shorten it, it can happen. But we're not doing that today.
No. I don't think anything's going to happen.
No, that's fine. You're right. So once I explain this, intention to marry, you have to do it. Fill out the particulars there. We do that today. I have that with me, and then it's official. Then the month starts then.
Right.
So and then once all the paperwork's done, you sign the marriage certificate. All that paperwork goes to the birth test and marriages. I do all that myself, and normally they charge a fee, which that's inclusive. That's about $50. That's why I charge $50 here. So $50 there, booking is $100, and then the solemnisation of marriage by myself. So which is a bespoke, which is personally written for yourselves. As you see, it goes through this. I explain that to you what it is. So where the distance of the journey exceeds 80 kilometres, I may charge an extra fee, but that's within, as you said, 20 minutes from here, so that's not going to be an issue. So we can cross that one off. So formal correspondence in relation to the marriage. So if I have to consult with embassies, write letters to them, which won't be an issue again, just in case, I'll leave that on there. And other special requirements as agreed. So that just says that happened. That just covers me if I have to do a bit extra work.
Right.
But as I explained to you today.
But we should be both Australian and we're both...
Yeah, you're both Australian, and we'll go through in a second what else I require. But that's your fee. If you just get your signature there, that's statement of fees. Just a pen there. Just sign yourself, and sign with your maiden name, obviously until you're married. Everything with your maiden name.
Oh, I think okay.
So this is just the agreement for ceremony. So this is like an agreement saying that the total fee is $450. The celebrant, I will keep the date agreed and time available for your ceremony in accordance with the following: confirmation fee, which is $100 payable. And the fee also covers the lodgement of your notice of intention to marry. So you have to lodge that. In the event of cancellation of the ceremony, after the notice of intention to marriage has been completed, there's no refund. So once I lodge this,
you're going to pay the full $450.
No. Just the deposit.
Oh, just $100. Sorry.
Is non-refundable. That's it.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the balance of $350 here is
Yes.
due 1 month prior to
Right.
the wedding.
Mhm.
And if you cancel that, I don't charge any of the fees on top of that anyway. So if you cancel, if something happens, I'm not going to make it. It's obviously something happens for a reason. I'm not going to make a burden and charge you some sort of late booking, late cancellation fee or something.
Really?
No fees, yeah. Just that $100 is not refundable. In the event a ceremony is delayed more than 60 minutes from the starting time, it says here the settlement reserves the right to proceed to the next appointment. So,
which is, I think, fair enough.
which is
If
fair
you're
enough.
allowed,
Yeah. But in saying that, I only ever book in the afternoons. If it's a morning wedding, I do morning, but I only would ever book one in the afternoon anyway.
Oh, okay.
So that's
That
not
makes
an issue.
allowances for
But
that,
that's just makes allowances. So if we could do your signatures there again, that'd be great.
Do we have to? Oh, that's your signature. You're right.
But I'll give you a copy of the. That's for myself. Yeah, thank you.
So
Have
what?
to sign that too.
Oh, I have to sign that again. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then sign that. That's just the statement of fee. That's perfect. Leave it over there. So then we got to. Yeah. So have you any questions?
Today's the 22nd.
So with the deposit, how would you like to pay the deposit?
We'll have cash.
Oh yeah, cash.
Yeah.
Just cash,
I'll give you a receipt, obviously, before we leave today. But again, with the designing of the ceremony, the format, I'll give you a copy of that as well, so you can have a think about what you want to include. If you're happy to have what I've suggested, then that's good. But we'll get that locked in, and I'll write something up, as I said, personal for you two.
Okay.
I need to know you a bit. So I like to get to know the couples a bit more, and obviously having chatted with friends, great. The person's always good. So we'll go through the notice of intention to marry, then I'll like to ask some questions. So this is just, so we're going to fill on party 1, party 2, so it's the bride and groom. I can fill in everything in your maiden names, your original names, and sign in that way too. You don't sign in any other way. And then once you fill in this, then I can lodge this with the birth certificate marriages, and then it's fine from there. So if you want to read that quickly and fill in all the details, I fill in most of the details. You just pretty much got to sign it, all right? So this is what's going to be recorded in your marriage certificate as well. So that if you just read that, see those details are all correct. Details are all correct, are they? Yep.
They look correct.
They're correct. If you just want to sign that, fill in the details that you need to fill out. That'd be great.
What? So, you fill this out, but this is all correct. You've filled it out anyway. So that I don't have to fill anything out really. Just sign it.
You just sign it.
Okay.
Just check all the details are correct.
Yeah, they're all
I like to
correct.
prepare that for the
Oh, it's actually,
couples.
look, the Marriage Act was in 1961. That's a year old.
You were born, yes, there you go.
So, yeah, that's it. But I don't know where we sign it. Where do we sign it?
Oh, so you just sign it here.
It's all
What's
correct.
here?
Oh, silly man. Yeah.
That's right. Sign that there.
But
Just sign it. Yep. That's fine. Thank you. I'll just have a look at that, make sure so everything, you happy with everything
yes,
correct
everything's
there?
fine there.
That's fine. So that's no intention to marry. So 1 month from today, it'll be fine. The day you sign it, so I'm the witness for that as well. So I'm as authorised celebrant, I can witness the notice of intention to marry. So I'm the witness for that signature. Today's date. So that's fine. And I'll fill in the particulars to be completed by the authorised celebrant here. So that's going to have to be filled out after as well.
Okay.
Intention to marry. Current age. Yep, that's fine. So I need your ID as well. So just to, obviously you did mention you were going to bring in your birth certificates. So you've got them with you today?
That's sufficient, is it? That's it.
Yep, that's all I need. Don't need photo ID.
That's our birth certificate.
Oh, birth certificates. Okay, so that's your one. Both here, I can see those two there. So that's Sally Smith and John Jones, both born in Australia. That's fine. That's great. So that's all. I don't need any photo ID or nothing, just because I just need your date of birth,
So that's my birth certificate, but obviously I'm not.
Does it matter?
So sorry?
Does it matter if somebody's been divorced?
Yeah, so that was my next question. You did mention that you had previous marriage.
That's right.
So what we need from that, have you got your divorce certificate?
Yes.
So you do, perfect. So that can cause an issue if you haven't already got that.
Got that, there it is.
Yeah, that's the divorce certificate. I can definitely, I can verify that and actually, I can definitely confirm that you are legally married.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no other impediment to you actually being officially married. So that's exciting.
Because he hasn't been married before.
He hasn't been married before. You're both born in Australia, and your divorce paperwork has come through in final. That's really good. So we can move on. So now I'll sort of quickly and talk about marriage and relationship support services. You heard much about it?
Not really. Not since we didn't do that so much in the
Your previous marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your understanding?
Well, I suppose you've got to do a bit of counselling or something before somebody gets married. Is that the way to do it now?
Religiously, that's what most churches would do and have you do. The Catholic Church does that.
Because I think a couple of my kids had to sort of do a bit of counselling.
Exactly.
So that's about all I know, but I didn't go into it much.
So it's not you don't have to do it. Something that's mandatory before you marry.
You don't have to.
No, something not for a civil marriage service. It's just something I highly recommend as a celebrant because and this is where I want to give you the happily ever before.
Before and after.
So obviously you're not married yet.
No, that's true.
But this is before and after. So what I do highly recommend you read this, and it's before you can get before marriage education. Mm-hmm. So you can see what it looks like before marriage, the challenges you face. That's your copy to keep. Please have that. And it's not something you need to do, as I said, but it's something that I highly recommend.
So you did that with you, do we?
No, not at all. But I refer on other services. I'm not a counsellor, and I can definitely not do this.
Oh, okay.
But I can give you some referrals or give you some other brochures that people do offer it up. But this gives you details, exactly kind of what to expect through those kind of services. But it's just what it does do. It helps you build some resilience in your relationships as well. Because as we know, you've been married before. It's not easy. To make weddings work is hard enough. To make actually marriages work in the long term, it's a struggle. And as a marriage celebrant, I'm a big believer of forever after and happily, hopefully. And it's not always happily, but if you have that resolve and that resilience, then you can really sustain a long and happy marriage. And this goes a long way if you do it beforehand and you do it throughout. And it's all about what I like to think about is the 4 C's of marriage. You know, commitment, communication. There's a few other ones that I've just forgotten as well. But so you've heard of the 4 C's of marriage?
No.
So something that I've kind of worked on a little bit myself. The 4 C's of marriage. I'm happy to share this with you. It's actually on my phone, and it's really good way to just think about marriage. It's communication's the biggest, obviously.
I'm good at that.
You good at communicating? Perfect. Communicating is the biggest.
He's hopeless at communicating. That's my biggest worry.
Can I put a challenge down to you to be a bit more communicatable? That's a word?
Yes, that's a word.
That's a word. That's going to be your word now, John. So that'd be great. So communication, consideration is another big thing.
He's considerate.
Yeah. So that's for me.
I think
considerate.
I'm considerate.
Yeah.
Am I considerate?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you don't sound so convinced about that.
Commitment is the other one.
I'm committed.
So you've got to be committed to this thing.
That's why we get married.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, I have.
But committed once you're after. You mean committed once you're married?
Yeah,
It's easy to commit to
That's why
marriage.
us to get committed.
Oh.
Committed?
He's funny, isn't he?
Well, laughter is a sexual element.
It does make me laugh.
That's good. I'm happy with that. So commitment, just be committed to one another. That's the best thing.
So what is it? Communication?
Communication, consideration,
commitment.
And another one, and most probably that just covers all of them, is cherishment. Cherish one another.
That's nice.
Yeah. So this is something I've actually got.
That is cool. The 4 C's of marriage. I really actually don't think I have heard of that.
Well, it's just because it's mine.
What's yours, is it?
No one's. I've gathered.
Huh?
We already Ari's.
No, I've gathered information from other people that I've stick the works, and I've actually applied this to my marriage. And I've had discussions with people who've been married, and I've got some of these fours, and I just picked the top 4 that I thought worked well. So that's my kind of top 4, but it's common words, but it's something that I think is so important to a wedding, to a marriage. So that's just something that they're happily ever before and after marriage counselling.
I think that's good. I really like that, actually.
Yeah, well, that's something that you can do, but I recommend it.
Communication, consideration, commitment,
cherishment.
and cherishment.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a word called cherishment.
Community cherishment, yeah.
I knew you'd heard of cherish.
Yeah, cherishment.
Yeah, you cherishment.
It's a word. Anyway, so we'll that's what it.
I think I've got to get to write them down.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
No, seriously, because I'm going to bring him up. I'm going to commitment.
4 C's of a marriage.
Commitment.
Because I don't put the word happily.
Communications first, you said, didn't you?
Communication, because that's the foundation of a good marriage. Commitment, which you've got to stay committed to one another through the tough times, the hard times, and the good times. And then it's
communication, commitment, consideration.
Consideration. That's a big one, and a lot of marriages don't really.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no.
He's considerate. And what is the last one? Cherishment.
25 minutes. Okay, we're going to
Cherishment. Yeah,
4 C's.
That's what he just said. Very good.
Yeah, you can keep that on. So that's that. So keep those
nice.
in your mind. It's something that you don't have to have
I think I might get it.
People think that it's not. You don't need it because hang on, I'm getting married. I've got a perfect relationship.
No.
Well, not every relationship's perfect, and it takes work. So
no, it does. Things happen in life too that put strains on your relationship.
So what we're going to do now is absolutely
Yeah.
life gets in the way, and that's what the education will explain to you as well. What challenges you face, and not only as a young couple, but as an older couple too.
Right.
You face challenges out there. So the next part, we're going to fill in the stat deck, statutory declaration, which is in the reverse side of the official certificate of marriage. So official certificate of marriage is what's going to go on your marriage certificate.
Right.
And on the flip side of that, we've got called the Declaration of No Legal Impediment to Marriage.
So no, we've got no impediments.
Which is
yeah,
what
we know that. I'm divorced. He's never been married.
You got your divorce has been finalised.
Yeah,
so that's all in. Fill all that in. Sign at the bottom.
A long time ago. So yeah, that's all done. You filled this, didn't you?
This is not the notice of intention to marry. Notice of intention to marry is
okay. Yeah,
this kind of complements that, but this is going to be submitted to the birth certificate marriages as well. So I'll have to be able to prove, which I've already seen.
That, sorry?
So you just sign it down the bottom there. Declare that for me. So I sign that.
Yeah.
And then you see, sign. It's not really much space there.
I didn't see that.
You just sign above that.
Okay.
Or below that big paragraph.
There you go, and you've got to sign that one. Is that right?
Yeah. And then what we'll do now quickly is, I know you said you've got to rush off and get another meeting.
That's all right, we've got another 5 minutes.
Okay. So the marriage ceremony booking form, it's kind of hones into what you want on your day as well. So the date's all sorted, the venue's sorted, I know that, I'm well aware of that. I'll be there on time. I've got all your details, I've got your mobile numbers, you've already given me them via email after we spoke on the phone, that's great. You won't be moving anytime soon, you're staying in the same place here, not here, it's obviously my place, but you'll be staying in your same place, your address I've got written down here,
that's right.
Perfect. So obviously I've signed your birth certificate, and just to let you know as well, I know all this stuff that I have a secure, you can see behind you, I have a locked filing cabinet, only have the key form. So all your document gets there, and the documents I don't need, I don't need a copy of your birth certificate.
Right.
I'll never get that.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't need a copy.
Just need to
I just need to see it.
Oh,
I'd be happy with it. So, so I don't need a copy of that. I'm happy to see it. But any other documents with I do get rid of them if I don't need them, and I get rid of them by shredding them in an appropriate manner as well. So, so I've got your full names. You said you're using a ring, which is great. Who's going to be giving you or carrying that ring with them on the day?
My best friend, Tony.
Best friend Tony, perfect. Tony, because I will be hitting Tony up, making sure he's got it on the day, making sure he's.
I don't know about that. I'm not sure about Tony, but anyway.
Or Tony, don't worry, if you want me to, you got to. That's your job, John.
They're worried about him. That's what
So we'll the bride or groom be given away. bride will be giving away by anybody in particular?
My grandson, I think.
Your
My
grandson?
eldest grandson.
Okay,
What do you
sweet.
think? I've got 3 sons.
well, it
Okay,
depends how old he is.
what's your opinion?
Oh,
I've got 3 sons, so who do I pick? And the other thing is, he's the eldest grandson by a mile,
yeah,
and he'd be 9. He'd be 9 and
that's
a
a
half.
nice. I
when we
think
get-
that'd be nice. If you don't want to just do, I think if he's 9, he'd be 9 by then. I think that'd be a nice touch if you had him walking down.
Because who else? I don't want to pick a son.
As a son, 3 sons, yeah, it's a bit hard, isn't it?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go grandson, eldest grandson. I think that's a nice touch.
Yeah.
And what's his name?
Teddy. It's Theodore, but
Theodore.
we call him Ted.
It's a nice name, isn't it?
I like that name, Theodore. Like the ex-president.
Yes, that's it.
America, Theodore Roosevelt. Okay, so we have so I've got the. How many people are coming to this wedding? You say
Oh, it's very small. It's probably only going to be at
I've never got many friends.
40. Say 40 people.
so
You
funny.
reckon?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So you want calligraphy because I could do calligraphy on your wedding certificate as well.
That'd be
But
nice.
when you, so you've got a plan B. You said if wet weather.
Yeah.
That's fine. So you've got the marquee there, the venues liaison with them. I know the venue well. They've got a pretty good alternative
Yeah, that's
venue
fine.
for wet weather. So you've got a number of guests, 40. So you want music. So
Yes.
I said, do you need my PA system? And
Yes.
because I can hook that up.
Yes.
Because the venue doesn't, because it's outdoors,
Yeah, no,
it
we'll
doesn't
have
provide
yours.
generally.
Yeah.
So mine should cater for at least outdoors, probably at least 100 people. So it's
Right. Oh, that's good.
probably more actually, depending how close we are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fine. I can arrange a PA system. Do you need a signing table and chairs?
Yes.
I don't actually arrange that. That's not part of the fees we discussed earlier. Over the phone and by
Oh, so
email.
I'll have to ask the venue.
Yeah, I'll be
Okay,
getting
that's
the
all right.
venue.
Yeah, they'll have a problem.
So venue.
Okay, good. That's
I
a good
do.
one to write to
I
remember
think the
that.
venue has that because they normally set it up.
Yeah, I think.
And
Yeah,
they
I
have
think
the
in the
signs
past I
already.
have had it done.
I'll
Yeah.
bring the PA system in.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'll have 2 microphones, one for myself and one for the other people as well. And so the music, you said you wanted to walk down the aisle to Rod Stewart. Do you think I'm sexy? Is that what you said? Oh, that's a bit of a joke.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's good. Of course, what was Rod Stewart's
I
song
think
you'd like to
it's the one.
choose?
What song did you like for Rod Stewart?
Sailing.
No, I don't want. Gosh, I want. Oh, what's that one of Rod
You're in my
Stewart?
heart, you're in my mind.
No, it's a new one. It's a one of. Can I tell you later?
Get back to me,
Yeah,
Rod
I
Stewart.
can't think of the song. It's
Yeah,
got. I
that's-
know it's.
I know, but
Yeah.
just send it to me via link.
I will.
And I can make sure that I'll have that on my phone. So what I have in my the PA system, I have I set up Bluetooth setup, but also have hard.
Yeah. Okay,
Why?
great.
'Cause
Yeah,
in
no,
case
it's a song
Bluetooth
of.
doesn't work.
Oh, you know the song, and I can't.
So you're doing a
Anyway.
kiss. I said because you're a bit of an older couple, as you said before. You're not going to make it too soppy.
I wouldn't if I was a younger
Even
couple.
a younger couple, that's fine. But that's all good. So